Here's CJ.
Up the year that was this week and coming up on New Year's Eve, correct?
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, we are kicking in the new year with Blue Wave. Spirit, Tom Withee in studio. How's everything been?
It's been a great year so far.
So take me through kicking in the new year, just the event overall real quick, because I thought, I manage the community calendar and I get to go through and see a bunch of things that are going on, and I saw this and thought this is really unique and something new for the youth in our area.
Yeah, so we're going to do an event, and we're inviting everyone in our association and students that are interested to come out and train, and we're going to kick for an hour to kick in the new year.
Really cool. So what are some of the techniques and some of the things we'll be learning at that event if we're new to this or, want to be are interested in kind of learning more?
Yeah, so I've got, I think I've got 20 different kicks lined up, and we're going to do 24 reps of each kick to kick in 2024, right? So, we'll do front kicks and side kicks and roundhouse kicks. I got 20 different kinds of kicks figured out.
No, and I'm sure that out of the time that you've been teaching little ones and anyone in general, I always find it fascinating that to me the younger girls like to kick and do more of the aggression stuff. It seems like at first than some of the younger guys. Have you seen that in your neck of the woods, or is that just because for me in soccer that's what it's like?
Oh yeah, girls and boys, they both really get into it, you know. But the girls, they find some confidence that they don't see in a lot of other places, whereas boys are usually, oh yeah, I'm going to just jump right in and dive right into it.
Really cool. And now take me through Blue Wave Spirit. So I've seen a couple of the posts at the YWCA and the location that you have there, but this is a branch, right, of an overall organization.
Yeah, so we're a branch school. We're part of the Cheongdo Association. I think there's 11 different schools across the St. Louis metro area. Mm-hmm. Out in Flint Hill, out in St. Charles. There's one over in Edwardsville, and we've got a new one here in Alton. Mm-hmm. So we're part of the Cheongdo Association. It's Cheongdo Kwon is an older style of Taekwondo, so it's very much focused on self-defense and building a lot of those personal skills, right? So discipline, confidence, self-management.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's a huge point, too, because I don't think a lot of individuals realize how beneficial, the sport could be just for those reasons alone, because everyone talks about let's develop our youth. This is a great way to teach some of those coping mechanisms, tools, and ways that we have to battle our own emotions throughout the rest of our lives.
No, absolutely. And that's the number one draw of training in martial arts, right? Like learning self-defense is really great and being able to protect yourself, but that's not what most people get out of training. What they get is they develop self-confidence. They develop a sense of peace, right? And they learn how to interact with other people in a way that they don't feel anxiety, right? So
or maybe scared even. I think sometimes kids my age are even scared to even talk to a grown-up and expand their, interest. Because I was talking to somebody, Tom, not to just jump in here, but they're like 25, and I said, man, what's going on? Well, I'm trying to find a job, and, I've been reaching out to folks, but I said, are you really reaching out or sending an email? Well, I didn't really pick up the phone and talk to them. Well, if you're too scared to talk to somebody, you aren't going to be able to, or in fear or whatever you have, you aren't going to be able to be successful. So you got to learn a way to combat that and overpower it, too.
Right. So people talk about leadership skills. And how do you develop leadership skills? Well, you develop leadership skills by practicing them. And so our students starting, as early as yellow and green belts, they're doing some teaching, they're standing up in front of the class and they're leading different aspects of class as part of belt exams. You have to stand up in front of the master and you have to say the membership oath and you have to perform in front of a judge, really, and so that develops that confidence and those leadership skills so that you feel like you can go up and talk to different people about all kinds of things.
Well, I'm sure, too, with the classes that you've been a part of and been able to lead, that you see the child or any individual really breaking out of their shell pretty quickly in these classes.
Oh, definitely. We get young adults and even older adults who start training, and the growth that you see is fantastic. Just not only the confidence in those interpersonal skills, but the confidence in their own body. Just learning how to, move. And as you get older, that becomes an important aspect, right? Just staying physical, staying active, but that confidence in your own self, not just your emotions and communicating with other people, but just being able to control your body.
Right, 100% over. And now, when did you launch Blue Wave in Alton?
Yeah, so we started in September 22.
Okay.
We opened, I think our first class was September 7th or something like that. So we've been open for just over a year. We have classes twice a week. We meet Monday and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. And we have walk-in enrollment, right? So anybody who's interested can
That's
just
cool.
show up.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that because so many times parents will watch that, they go, I missed what time, or maybe I got an email, but to be able to say Monday and Wednesday, if you want to come, the door's open.
Yeah, definitely.
Really cool. Really cool. Hey, I got to ask you this. In the year did you ever find yourself wanting to operate on your own and do an offshoot of, I guess, an extension to Blue Wave, or was running a school something you've always dreamed of?
It wasn't on my radar.
Really? Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, no, the director of the Y reached out to my teacher, Miss Tammy Bauer, who runs the branch in Edwardsville, and wanted to start a martial arts program at the Y. And then, so my teacher has too much on her plate to take that on, right? And so she thought about her students, and she thought I'd be a great fit for this area.
Really cool. And now take me through your career a little bit. How long have you been in martial arts and been competing? I'm sure it's been quite a resume, huh?
Not really.
Really?
No, I've been training for a little over 6 years.
Wow.
We started my daughter. We started my daughter in Taekwondo over at Blue Wave Edwardsville. And I sat on the bench just like every other parent for about a month, and I was sitting there on my phone after work, and I was like, why am I sitting on the bench? I could be out there doing this with her. And so it's been a great bonding experience for us. My whole family trains now, me, my wife, and both my daughters.
Really? Man, that's actually incredible. And I think it's because I would have thought just from talking to you on the phone that this was that you were a part of this forever, but to hear that really your daughter's classes brought you to this point to have your own offshoot in Alton, that's a really cool story.
Well, thank you.
Really cool. And so there's a couple of things coming down the pipeline. And why don't we talk about the first one first before we take a break? And that's coming up. This is kicking in the new year. Let's go over the details for this. So this starts at 11 a.m. on Sunday, December 31st, correct?
Absolutely. So we're going to kick in the new year. We're going to, like I said, we're going to meet and we're going to kick for an hour. Starts at 11 a.m. If anybody wants to come out and check it out, you're more than welcome to. If you want to try it out, make sure to show up a little bit early and talk to me or one of the other instructors that'll be there. The gym's going to be packed with martial artists. Like I said, there's 11 branch schools in the area, so people are coming from far and wide.
Really cool. So this is going to be a big kind of Shibuya one. If you're getting all these, getting all the offshoots to kind of come together in one location.
Yeah, I expect probably around 50
really
people
cool.
to be there.
Yeah, and now what's that mean for you to be able to use that to almost network the Alton location? Are you planning on doing more events like this setting coming down the pipeline in 24?
So the YWCA is a great venue, right? They've got that amazing gym in there and all the offshoot rooms, and so we're going to host a tournament in February. Coming up February 3rd, our association has a tournament coming up.
Why don't we pause?
All right.
Because I want them to stay tuned. Yeah, I did it to you. We'll take a quick break. The conversation with more about this tournament and kicking in the New Year hits you right after this on RiverBender.com.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBenderRadio.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
We're kicking in the new year. We're doing some winter sparring, and we're talking with Tom Withee. And, Tom, this is really cool that in a year you're able to really find some events and really find your own footing, because that's not an easy transition, really.
No, we're putting on these events. We're trying to get our name out there in the community, and that's the reason we put these on. We want to bring our association here, and right after our event, I'm sure we're going to flood the downtown area looking for food. This is a great area for that. There's all kinds of amazing places to go. So
you're right. I mean, to me, everyone talks about economic impact and all that, but events like this add to that number. And what it does is you're showcasing, not only you're bringing them in for a meal or maybe going to hang out somewhere down in Alton, but they're putting in the back of their head, oh, hell, that restaurant on Broadway was really good. Why don't we stop by there next week? And it's a long-standing, really, advertisement for the community, and that's why I think it's great we have these opportunities. And now, I'm not too familiar with the martial arts scene. I'm more familiar with the pro wrestling, stuff. And is the scene pretty prolific in the St. Louis region? Because wrestling's pretty big in the St. Louis kind of Metro East. Would you say martial arts is too?
I would say it is, but it's not as showy.
Okay, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, we're part of this broader Chungdo Association. There's 11 branch schools spread out throughout the entire area. But we don't have like these big showy tournaments with huge crowds that people come into, right?
Yeah.
It's very much, it's about your own journey and your own personal growth. It's not about winning trophies and having medals. And
for you and your end of things, how important was that to know that kind of principle whenever you had your daughters doing that for the first time? Because I'm sure there are different offshoots where you can do different things, but for you, was that something that you looked at as a guiding principle to pick in that class or just picking it?
It really wasn't. We were more looking at the instructor and how the instructors interacted with the students and how they led classes and the skills that they were learning. We didn't figure out till later on that it was not so showy and these competitions weren't these big, huge statewide or national competitions.
Mm-hmm. Really cool. Well, and that's another thing, too. Whenever you see the instructor in action and really doing their thing, you're pretty much, your confidence is all but shored up right after that and going, we're making a good choice. Okay. And now, whenever we're talking Blue Wave as a whole, what are some of the things that the different offshoots and the different locations do throughout the year? Is there any type of just catching up that some of the instructors do? Any meeting or anything like that?
I don't think I understand your question.
So when like you have the Alton branch that you're running, but there's also like you said, Blue Wave, Edwardsville. And do you guys get together as instructors throughout the year at times, or kind of coordinate for a regional plan, or is it just you guys doing your own thing and coming together collaboratively, at the end or for certain events?
So we have 2 events that we plan per year for sure,
Okay.
right? So we have a winter sparring tournament, and then we'll have another fall event, whether it's another sparring tournament or like an outdoor training event or something similar to that.
Really cool.
Yeah, so the instructors meet and they collaborate around planning those kind of events.
That's what I was wondering, because I'm sure there's a plethora of individuals and participants in your guys' groups, no matter where you're located. So to keep everyone together and make sure you're getting the information out the way you should, it's got to be a fun thing to do,
Yeah. It's a big part of our association. We'll meet and we'll train.
Okay.
And then we'll sit down and talk afterwards. And we'll plan out those events, right? So that's why your question kind of threw me a little bit.
No, that makes sense then, because I was trying to figure out how it all got coordinated, but that's actually a really cool way to do it too. So that way you're going for the main purpose of the organization and doing the admin work or doing the leadership role afterwards.
Right.
Really cool. So as we're coming back here, we're also talking about, as Tom just mentioned, the Winter 2024 Sparring Tournament. I get paid to read, believe it or not. I normally read a lot quicker than that, Tom. This is on Saturday, February the 3rd, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. So what does this kind of look like?
Yeah, so this is going to be a really fun event.
Okay.
We're going to have the sparring tournament here at the YWCA. We're going to kick things off at 9 a.m. There's going to be kids activities to start out the day, right? So we'll have a bunch of different drills and different kids activities just to get a little bit of the wiggles out and get them running around and moving. And then we'll all train together. We'll do like maybe 30-minute kind of a warm up to train. And then we're going to break out into sparring. And so we're going to have 3 different rings that are running sparring competitions. So it's going to be one-on-one sparring. They're broken out by division, so it'll be broken out by age and rank, right? So if you're a 10-year-old yellow belt, you'll be sparring others who are in that similar age group and yellow belts, right? If you're a 16-year-old brown belt, you're going to be sparring people who are roughly your age and rank.
Gotcha. So I don't have to worry about going out there and getting folded by a black belt, is what you're saying, huh?
Exactly, right? Black belts will spar black belts.
Well, and now take me through how I've always been interested how a matchup or how a contest is decided and how that goes, because I've never really been able to stick all the way through it, because at different points you turn off or you look at something else. How do those break down and what do they look like, the actual sparring competition portion?
So sparring match lasts 60 seconds. And so what's going to throw you off the bat right away when you see our sparring is there's no pads, right? So there's no foot pads, no shin pads, no bodyguard, no headgear, right? So it's very much about control, right? So if you're punching, you're kicking, you're blocking, or whatever, the idea is to get brush the uniform, but not make any impact. Okay. And so when you see the little kids and the younger rank sparring, you're going to see things that are, stopping 2 or 3 inches away. Okay. But to score a point, you have to get your technique in, past their guard, and back out without being blocked or deflected.
Really interesting.
Yeah. And so we've got 4 corner judges who are watching the match and looking for points, and they're doing their tally. And then at the end of the match, they take those up to the head table, and the head table looks at their scores and what they saw, and they determine the winner.
Wow.
Most matches end 0-0.
Now, why is that? Is it because of the point deductions, or do you get a point deducted if someone blocks it? How does that work?
Yeah, so to score, our target zone is below the neck and above the belt.
Okay.
Right? For safety. So nothing to the head, nothing below the belt, nothing to the back. So think about trying to get a punch or a kick through to that chest and belly area without being blocked on the way in or the way out.
Yeah.
Right? So it's very difficult to score a point. It takes a lot of strategy and a lot of skill.
And in 60 seconds.
In 60 seconds.
I've always been fascinated to how that breaks down, because because I've never really asked the question. I think that's really an exciting thing to watch.
It is going to be very fun to watch.
And is it one of those things, do you think that if you don't know too much about it, you can pick it up pretty quick and go, oh, that makes sense. This is how they're scoring points?
It's pretty hard to tell, right? From just an outside watcher. And so when we're getting started out in the morning, they'll go through the rules and try to explain that, because there's going to be a lot of parents that it's their first tournament too, and a lot of kids it's their first tournament, and so they go through the rules and explain that out. But if you walk in, it's just fun to watch.
Yeah, man, I'm a fan. I mean, I'm really in on this. I think this is a really cool thing because, I know we have other organizations, but I love the fact that you're doing something that brings in the entirety of Blue Wave really into Alton to do this and have numbers there, add to our economic impact a little bit with what you're bringing in, and plus teaching the youth that, hey, there's a different alternative for stress relief that's not Grand Theft Auto and carjacking somebody on a video game.
Absolutely.
And I'm not being funny about it. It's just I think there's so many great avenues, and this is one of them. And you're are you from the Alton area?
Yeah, well, sort of. I mean, I live up in Dorsey, so.
Oh, cool. So you've been around the area your entire life?
Entire life.
So it's pretty cool though to be able to have your own thing though. I'm sure right here in the Metro East and being able to lead something and have some fun doing it.
Absolutely, I love this part of the country, part of the state. I love the Metro East area.
Well, and let me ask you this. We have a couple of minutes, and whenever your daughter was doing the classes and you thought, all right, let me put the phone down and let me be active in this, was there anything that you guys had to learn almost at the same time, or like a technique, and you're like, how the hell is she getting this and I'm not? Has that ever happened?
Oh, it's really interesting because I've seen several, parent-kid combinations, and what you find out, the kids learn the forms faster. Like they memorize them faster than the adults do. Like across the board.
Wow. Oh, that would piss me off. Come on, what am I doing wrong here?
Yeah.
But I think it's a really cool story, Tom, because the fact that you got to connect with your daughter a little bit more and be able to do some really fun stuff. And if you don't mind me, I wanted to, what I think is really unique about this too is that you're kind of learning at the time with your daughter, and now you're teaching and helping kind of lead this portion of Blue Wave. And now with that, did you ever have a career or anything that was going to lead to a gym setting?
Not to a gym setting.
I gotta ask because it's you have such an interesting journey, really. I mean, the way that this kind of came about was really, happenstance. It wasn't circumstance, just happening. And this is cool.
Awesome, thanks.
So, with that being said, did you have what did you do before this? Are you still in the teaching world? Are you out of that? Did we talk about that?
Well, so I taught high school for 15 years, and then I made a career move, and I do kind of like education research now.
Really interesting.
Yeah, and so I sit at the desk a lot of the day.
Yeah.
And so I love having this physical activity to get up, move around, stay mobile, keep my mind focused. That physical activity, training regularly, it really does clear the mind and helps reduce that stress. I can tell you, that hour that you're in class, you're not thinking about anything else. Like the bills are gone, work is gone. It's just training.
That's really cool. And I think it's fantastic that we have this here in the Alton area because it's really cool to have these gyms and everything, but to have some good people running it with a really cool message behind it too is, I think, a good sticking point for it also. So with that being said, we were just talking, we got coming down the pipeline February 3rd on 2024, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. This is an all-day thing. So
all day.
Pack a lunch, right?
We're going to flood the downtown area.
Oh, that's right. So you're going to bring them all out with you for lunch. Well, and that's a great way to be a part of it. Now you go to chungdo.org. That's chungdo.org, correct?
Right.
That's how you sign up and get all the good information?
Yeah, you're going to want to be part of the gym.
Okay.
So one of the branch schools, before you register, the tournament's for white belts and above.
Gotcha. That's a great disclaimer. So it can't be, this isn't the kicking in the new year where if you want to be out there, it's great. But if you want to be a part of the winter sparring tournament, you got to get your white belt first.
Right.
Really cool. And now what's your plans for Blue Wave as the whole for the next couple of years that you're going to be doing this and hopefully longer?
We're just going to keep training, man. We train all year. It's not like some other sports, when it's got an off season and an on season. And we just train all the time.
This was such a cool interview because the way that this came about, with you joining up with this, and then how it took over to where your family is now all doing this together. I think so many families, and I'm not putting words in your mouth if you're watching at home. If they replay it, I will be. But, there's a lot of times where folks don't have that thing that they can feel connected with their family. There's people always look for it all over the place. And hell, it could be just, like something like Blue Wave or you name it. But why don't you go ahead and try it out on New Year's Eve? Kicking in the new year, what time does that start?
11 a.m. 11
a.m. And what time should we expect to get there if there's some registration or things like that? 10:30 or?
10:30 would be good. Yeah.
And now YWCA right up here on Broadway, correct?
Absolutely.
And then you're in the gym?
In the gym.
There we go. Now, throughout the last couple of years being a part of this, what's one of the accomplishments or one of the kind of achievements that you have, if it's with yourself with opening the Alton branch, or anything that you and your family were able to accomplish as a family in the martial arts journey?
Wow, that's a loaded question.
It is. It's a very loaded question.
I would say earning that first black belt.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
How much discipline does that take, really? Because from what I've heard, it's rigorous.
It takes a lot of discipline and a lot of dedication. That constant training, even if you don't want to, even if you're stressed, you're tired, just hauling your butt into class.
Wow, that's really. When did you get your black belt?
May.
Really cool. So what's the next step after the black belt? Can you go degrees higher, or how does that work?
Yeah. So it's a first degree.
Okay.
Yeah, and it goes all the way up.
If you want to learn from a black belt right here in the 618, you know where to go, and that's Alton YWC. I mean, it's great to tell people that because, you got the experience, too, with that, too. That alone is a testament of your knowledge of it and discipline, too.
Right.
Seriously, that is incredible. And thank you so much for stopping by and talking with me about this today. So if you're just tuning in, we're talking February the 3rd at 9 a.m. until 8 p.m. This is the one you have to be a white belt in Blue Wave. Blue Wave, correct, to be a part of the sparring tournament. This is February the 3rd, 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. There is a Facebook event page that you can find. All you type in is Winter 2024 Sparring Tournament. You'll have some links there, and we'll link this on an article for you, too, because we want to make sure some kids go and are a part of it. And a thank you for, Tom deciding to come tape with me on a Tuesday afternoon to make sure that we can get some end of the year show. So there's that. Then there is Kicking in the New Year, which is coming up this Sunday at 11 a.m. Get there around 10:30. Register, show up. And 120 techniques?
20 techniques, 24 reps.
What's the hardest, in your opinion? Does it depend on your body size and style?
Jumping, spinning, back kick.
There you go. Really cool. And now, what was one that you were able to master pretty quick? Do you have one that you're like, that's my go-to if I'm ever, having to demonstrate, this is what I'm going to do?
Oh, yeah, the front kick, side kick, spinning back kick.
Really cool, man. Well, I really can't thank you enough for your time. It means a lot that you gave me some of your time this afternoon ahead of the holiday, and I hope we get some more kids signed up for Kicking in the New Year this Sunday, December the 31st at 11 a.m. at the Alton YWCA, and for February the 3rd to get some more folks into class and get them signed up for that sparring tournament, Tom.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break. Daily show on I Am Lying to You. Tom, I've lied to this entire audience. We're out of time. I forgot. So I'm taping a new one and an old one, or taping two new ones and sandwiching the olds in. So I got to remember which ones to end the show, and that's it. So I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Most importantly, try your best to stay out of jail.